Hey, this is the Blackwell Panda, and today I want to unbox and review for you guys this Zalman FPS gun FG1000 Vertical Grip Ergonomic Mouse. That's a mouthful, so let's go ahead and get started.
Alright, so here we have the FPS gun FG1000 pistol grip mouse, vertical mouse by Zalman. Is a company that makes excellent heat sinks. Didn't actually know they made this mouse till I went looking for a vertical mouse. But the nice thing about vertical mice is that it puts your hand in a much more natural position. If you take your mouse in your hand and you hold it normally and then turn it sideways, you'll immediately feel the difference. You can see just how more comfortable it is to have your hand sideways in a vertical grip than it is horizontal, parallel to your desk. So there are several different types of vertical mice on the market. I went with this one just because, one, the trigger on the mouse, because some of them use triggers, there are two triggers. There's one for left click and one for right click. A lot of the mice that I found in a vertical style allow you to left click or right click, but not both at the same time. And sometimes, especially with FPS games, like you've got your sights pulled up, you have to be able to right and left click at the same time. The other reason I chose this mouse is because it has side buttons, which I think default to like up and down, or page up or page down, or sometimes front and back. Side buttons are very important for me. I use them all the time on a mouse. And of course, it's got a scroll wheel right there. All these things are very, very important for me in a mouse, and pretty much every vertical mouse I looked at didn't have all of them, except for this one. So we're going to check this out. Hopefully it's as good as it sounds. I'm going to go ahead and open this box up. It's taped shut. Of course it's taped shut. Tear that tape off. There we go. All right. We got this little tag you can hang it from in the store. All right. Take that out. Just toss the box aside. And so we've got software. It says Windows XP or Windows Vista. So this mouse is probably a couple years old, no big deal. But installation CD, so that's probably got your drivers, maybe software to reprogram the buttons, I don't know. But of course you've got your installation guide as well. So I gotta get this thing off. There we go, toss that aside. Put that out, nothing else, toss that aside. Alright, so this is the mouse. This is the mouse itself. We have the scroll wheel here, which I believe lights up, and it also has a button. If you push the scroll wheel, you've got a middle click. We've got our side buttons right here, and then we've got a trigger, right click trigger, left click trigger, and here we have another button, and this changes the DPI on the fly of the mouse, because it is an optical mouse, of course. So basically the way you use this, and it's USB connector, by the way, USB mouse, is you hold it like this, and you would move it just like a regular mouse, but your wrist is in a vertical position. And then you've got left click, you've got right click, you've got thumb buttons, you've got a scroll wheel, which you can also click, scroll wheel. So yeah, let's go ahead and hook it up, see how nice it feels, test it out, maybe load up a game and see how that goes. Alright, so I've got the mouse hooked up. As you can see, the scroll wheel is illuminated. And pulling up some Counter-Strike, CSGO, deathmatch round right now, just to give the mouse a very quick test run. So it is a little different. It's a little weird at first. Using this, it definitely doesn't feel like your standard mouse, but we'll give it a shot here. See how well we can do. I got killed. But it actually, surprisingly, isn't that bad. Like, it seems like it would be very, very difficult to get a feel for it. Like, it would take a long time. And I feel like I'm getting used to it pretty quick. There we go. I'm already taking out enemy players. So this seems to be working very well. I haven't programmed or used the thumb buttons yet, so they don't do anything, at least in the game. But I'm sure that I will set them up to maybe scroll through different weapons, perhaps. Uh-oh, I ran out of ammo. All right, so this seems to be working pretty well. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to a screen recorder, and you guys can see the gameplay for yourself. I'll open up a new game, and you can see just how, I won't say well I'm doing, because, you know, I don't do that well. It is a new type of mouse, so it's going to feel a little funny. It's going to take a little bit of getting used to, but I'm hoping that when I do get used to it, it helps a lot. But yeah, so let's go ahead and switch over to a screen recorder here and see how this goes.
All right. So here we are in Counter-Strike. I'm going to give this mouse a test run. I just got to turn the volume down on my headphones here. All right, there we go. Now, let's see how well this works, huh? Oh, lag spike. Oh, okay, I got to turn the sensitivity down a little bit, which is pretty easy with this mouse. There's a button right on it. So we'll see if that sensitivity works a little bit nicer. There are some obstacles on my desk that I'm definitely going to have to move out of the way just because it's designed... Oh, hit the wrong trigger. Just because my desk right now is set up for like a regular mouse. So, hi. Hopefully this doesn't go too badly. We'll play right up until the end of this deathmatch round, so 5.5 minutes, and my mouse does keep getting stuck on something, but I think, oops, bumped the mic, the cord, because it was wrapped up, is pretty stiff. It's got some angles on it that keep catching on stuff. So tried to move it out of the way there. Yeah, it's catching on stuff on my desk, so I gotta move that. That's not a problem with the mouse, though. That is a problem with the layout of my desk at the moment. All right, there we go. So hopefully that works. Hopefully that helps. Now we'll run around, try to find some people to shoot. I just saw someone. Oh, there they go. So just using the scroll wheel right now on the mouse to change my weapons. It works pretty well, I think. I did have to get a mouse pad out because my previous mouse was a laser mouse. And laser mice generally aren't very good for gaming because of the jitter that you'll get from the laser. But, you know, it's what I had, so I used it. But since I switched... Oops, there we go. Since I switched to an optical mouse now, my desk is carbon fiber. And if you're familiar with the carbon fiber pattern, it's pretty obvious why the optical mouse doesn't like it. So, mouse pad definitely helps. I keep having to shift it over a little bit because I'm naturally sort of finding a comfortable angle to work at. That's a teammate. Why am I stuck? I don't know. There we go. Yeah, anyway, naturally kind of finding a comfortable angle for my hand to work at, so I keep having to shift the mouse pad over to the new location where my hand kind of keeps drifting to. But that's normal of any new mouse. You're gonna, you know, find a comfortable spot after using it. But the vertical grip itself doesn't actually seem all that bad. It seemed like it would take a lot more getting used to, but I'm already starting to get really comfortable with it. So that's pretty good. I'm not a great player, and I'm not very good with this gun. It just happens to be my favorite stat track gun, so this is the one I tend to use. The guns I'm best with in this game, unfortunately, are the ones that people generally look down on. Shotguns, AWP, Negev, you know, things like that. I use these guns and people all of a sudden start screaming, "Oh my god, you suck so bad you have to use a Negev?" And I just want to yell at them because I'm thinking in my head, I guess, what, everybody should just play the gun that you are familiar with? You know, it doesn't make sense. Everybody has the gun that they're familiar with, the gun that they're comfortable with, and it's not right to tell people what gun they should or shouldn't use in a game. They're all part of the game. So if someone wants to run around with a Negev, that's their decision. You know, if you keep getting killed by someone with Negev, it's not because they're so bad that they have to use a Negev, it's because you're so bad that you can't fight back against the Negev. So, end of rant there. But yeah, anyway, so I'm getting pretty comfortable with this. Might switch over to a different weapon here on my next spawn, next time I'm killed, so just, doesn't mean I'm gonna let them kill me. No, they're gonna have to fight for it. So this is actually my first time recording Counter-Strike matches. Normally I record stuff like Minecraft. So hopefully you guys like the entertainment here. You have to let me know and I might record more Counter-Strike, I don't know. So there is one thing I've been noticing, and that's my aim tends to drift very slightly when I'm shooting. And I think that's because the mouse is so light. It is a very light mouse, and I'm used to a very heavy mouse. Whenever I get a mouse that has weights, I tend to put in the heaviest weights, so you know the mouse feels less like a toy. So I think that's just something like you'd have to get used to if you're more familiar with using heavy mice.
Nice shot.
But I think that just with a little bit of adjustment in your control, that won't be a problem. I'm used to kind of letting the mouse do the work for me, so I kind of have to do just a little bit more work that I'm not used to. Ooh, got someone on the side there. All right, so now we'll switch. There's not much time left, but we'll switch to Negev. Let's see. Oops, someone behind me again. See how this goes with the Negev. So no scope now. So I like the Negev. A lot of people have trouble controlling the spray, but it's not that hard once you get used to it. I think that's another reason Negev isn't exactly a weapon for people who are bad at playing, just because it does take work to control the spray. Again, you know, once you get used to it, it's not hard. But a lot of people who are new to the game or are bad at the game, they won't be able to control the spray very well. So yeah, I just kind of feel like, yeah, Negev's not really a weapon for new players to use. Oh, someone was on the left there. All right, so I joined late into that match. I didn't do half bad, I think, for how late I joined in. Third place in the terrorist team, at least. So, yeah, anyway, overall, I would have to say that I do recommend this mouse. It is extremely comfortable. Like, you would not believe how comfortable it is to use this mouse. It's a little tricky in the way that it's used. It is very different from a normal mouse, but especially with an FPS game like this, having that sort of pistol grip feel to it, where you've got triggers and you're holding it like a pistol, is very comfortable. There is one part on the mouse where your pinky kind of rests on, so it's almost like it has a pinky rest. That's kind of good. But I did see in a lot of reviews, people were saying the mouse is small. If you have big hands, don't get the mouse, people were saying. Well, I have to say, I have very large hands, okay? Very large hands. And it's fine. Yeah, the mouse is small. I won't lie, the mouse is small. But with big hands, it's still pretty easy to control. You know, even with its small stature. So I think maybe if you have fat fingers, you know, I don't know a delicate way to put that, but if you have fat fingers, you might not like this mouse. It might be a little bit difficult for you to use. But just big hands, long fingers, you know, a wide grip, that shouldn't affect you with this mouse. But yeah, I'm getting really comfortable with this mouse already. It seems like a good mouse. I like it. I would definitely recommend it. It'll help in the long run if you use the mouse a lot, if you do a lot of FPS gaming, with your wrist position, your hand position, help prevent carpal tunnel. Because carpal tunnel is generally caused by, you know, having your wrist, your hand, your arm in positions that aren't as natural for your ligaments and your tendons and your muscles to be in, especially with repeated motion, which you'll get a lot of as an FPS gamer, you know, with the triggers and moving the mouse a certain way. But yeah, so I'm going to end it here. Thanks for watching. This is the Black Belt Panda, and I will see you in the next video.